Communication. Look at this idea of leadership communication. It shows up on everybody's leadership competency list. Quite frankly, near the top, 1, 2, or 3. You go into any organization these days, and communication will be near the top of the competency list. I would suggest that communication is not really a competency. Not a competency like team leadership or strategic thinking or visioning. Communication is in fact synonymous with your leadership. They're almost one and the same. Think about it. Almost all of your leadership, everything you do as a leader, is manifest through your communication. Communication is simply that important. Now, as a manager, we are trained to communicate to help other people effectively and efficiently do their jobs. So we communicate accurate, timely information so other people can do their work. This is important. For leaders, the bar is higher. We need to do all of that. Plus, we need to be able to communicate in ways that get people to think and act differently and in concert. Think about it. Think and act differently and in concert. Can you do this? The Leader Speaks model that we use at Bluepoint has 3 elements. Our research tells us that the great leaders who can really create alignment, engagement, commitment in organizations, follow this pattern always in all of their communications, whether or not it's a conversation, an email, or an annual meeting presentation. All communication is personal, it's always about the future, and it's all wrapped up in a story. We follow leaders because of the way they make us feel. How do people feel when they hear you speak? Do they like you? Or even a higher standard? Do they like themselves in your presence? Think about that. As you communicate, whether or not you're talking in a team meeting or having a hallway conversation, does that other person feel better about themselves because of that conversation? One of the hallmarks of a leadership communication is that every communication is an invitation to a tomorrow that is better than today. Think about it. When you listen to any great leader communicating, there's always a thread going through it that invites you, come with me, invites you to a future that is better than today. And lastly, it's all wrapped up in a story, a grand epic, a journey, a hero's quest, a rise of the phoenix. Somewhere in that communication is a story that holds it all together. Not because we need stories to make it interesting, but as the neuroscientists say, the only way humans can listen, the only way they can hear, and the only way they can make communication memorable is to craft it into their own story. So are you as a leader communicating in a way that people can sign up to a big story and they see themselves in that story? Communication is at the heart of all leadership.